not listening to him. And you thought that him and Mike McDaniel was going to be a package deal because of that system that they ran. So not only is he a small person, Mike McDaniel's no experience, and then they invested a bunch of money in other small guys, Waddle, Tyreek Hill. Like, they got a lot of small guys trying to be fast. And as you could see, they are true to form. Any inclement weather. Now, in Cincinnati, in Cleveland yesterday, the wind was blowing just a little bit, and it was a little drizzly. Yeah, this wasn't the Kansas City. No, this wasn't Kansas City, but just a little drizzle, because we live here. And I know I'm going north for a couple of appearances in the next month, and I have a business relationship with Salvation Army, and we kick off the National Kettle Campaign, ringing the bells outside. Last year we got the wrong memo. They had me outside compared to in an atrium. Yes, I had to make sure in the contract, they're like, listen, I'm in an atrium, all right, at Shields, big grocery store. Yeah. I can meet and greet the people. Yeah. Don't mind being out there for Salvation Army. Going to do a lot of good. Actually, if you're out there this season, you see one of the red kettles, drop some change in it. Help out a lot of people.
There you go. Keep you inside. So Quinn Ewers now is not whether it matters or not. He's the backup now to Tua. Are we going to see anybody play but Tua?
Well, let's just go with Quinn Ewers. Now, this is the guy that they felt so good about that Archie Manning couldn't even replace him. So he ends up getting drafted in the 7th round. 5-star, number 1 quarterback, goes to Ohio State, transfers to Texas, yada, yada, yada. This is the guy keeping Archie Manning on the bench. Well, now you can see why Archie was on the bench. He was better than him, but he's a 7th-round pick. To me, he has no future as a starter in pro football. He's no franchise quarterback. No.
Now, what about Archie? What do you think about Archie now? Is it still too early?
No, it's not too early. Okay. If you really want to see something funny, man, go watch Archie Manning's high school highlights. Okay. Watch the size of the kids. Like, you watch a lot of tape, baseball, basketball, and, they have these kids, he's dominating. But when you look over at the opposition, it's like either Archie's 7 foot tall, because these other kids even like the offensive and defensive linemen. Like, he's bigger than a couple of his offensive linemen.
So what about in practice? Like, Sark is no it. They must be playing like he won this job because his name is Manning. They have other dudes in Texas that can play quarterback.
Well, he's been sitting on the bench for 2 years. So they don't really have a whole bunch of talent behind him. Okay. And the reason why is because Ewers, 5-star, Archie Manning, they were paying a whole bunch of money to. So that, he was going to be playing. Yeah. So why would you sign up to sit not only behind Ewers, now you got to sit behind Archie, which you're not going to play.
Correct.
So they don't have a whole bunch of talent behind it. And the practice thing is, Sark knows what he does have. And yes, even last year in Ewers, like if you watch them last year, they were a defensive dominating team. They had speed on the outside, but they ran the football. This year, Texas, a good defensive team, and they run the football. He had another lackluster performance. Now, he will make a couple splash plays because he is a great athlete. Like, he is a dual threat quarterback, and he's got a big-time arm. So he'll make a couple throws, but his fundamentals are not sound, and that's why you won't see him like the kid from Ohio State, Justin Sand, almost completing 75% of his passes, number 1 passer in college football. It's hard for him to throw for 250, 300 because he's not consistent enough with his fundamentals. So he's still a work in progress in his junior year.
Is he going to be a good NFL quarterback?
I wouldn't bet any money on it. If I had to say right now, I would say no. Like as a franchise quarterback, because his throwing is too inconsistent. Too inconsistent.
Which is crazy, being a man.
Well, I think the gene pool just got a little bit because he took all the athletic ability, but shit, Eli and Peyton could sling it.
Correct. They weren't running around doing what he does. They can't run.
No, but they were a lot better at football, though. They were better football players.
100%. Much better quarterback.
Yes.
All right, man. But you got R30. He said, now that the little fella, Gabriel, is winning, should your only hope is injury to Gabriel? Question mark.
Who did they beat?
They beat the Dolphins.
Yeah, which got a little guy, which had
Little guy beat a little guy.
who was throwing it to the opposition, colorblind.
Yeah, because they were open. Yeah,
And I've watched Dylan Gabriel play, and you know you do have to give some type of curve for him being a rookie, and that being Cleveland. And they don't have great offensive personnel. You know, he's not bad, he's not awful, but I do believe his skill set will be challenged, especially the more teams see him, because he is definitely not a runner. He's undersized, and he doesn't have a big-time arm. So this is based on Cleveland's special teams, horrible performance by Miami, and Cleveland's defense, which is outstanding. I also watched Cleveland play in London against the Vikings. That the Vikings tried to hand them the game. The Vikings were awful. The Vikings ended up coming back, winning the football game. So, you know, I don't think there's going to be a Dylan Gabriel fan club that's just going to emerge over these last couple weeks. Just slow down just a little bit. Like, no one's getting starting jobs off of beating the Dolphins. I think I'm trying to set up St. Thomas Aquinas, nationally ranked high school team, against the Dolphins, maybe on their bye week. See what we can do.
I think it wouldn't be that big a spread.
But
It wouldn't be 30.
Vegas is giving St. Thomas 2.5 points right now.
All right. Gabriel's a little guy. Who's got a better future in NFL, Shador or Dylan Gabriel?
Man, that's a hell of a question. I would still say Shador, because it's still better what we haven't seen from him. We know that he's going to be an accurate passer. And this thing is, I tell you all the time, franchises can make players. Do I think Cleveland can develop a quarterback? No.
Okay. They don't have the people there to develop one.
When have they done it?
Okay.
I mean, there's people that mess up things for a living, so let's give them credit for that.
Well, dude, ever since you told me that, I hear that all the time now. Like, quarterback whisperer, the guy that does this, and getting to the right guy, and getting around the right people, and like, you can't get it done with his franchise.
Yes. He hadn't done it. They hadn't done it. It's the number one question. They tried to pay for it. Deshaun Watson, what'd that get them? They've drafted some other players, Baker Mayfield, another player. What did that get them? Like Johnny Manziel. Like, they have done it every way. Free agents, old duster. Oh, bring back Flacco. Bring back the 65 Chevy. They've done it every way. Draft them. Draft two of them. Like, draft one in the third round, fourth round. Draft one in the seventh round. Like,
Still don't work.
trade. They did all those things within the last 12 months. And what do they have?
Okay. Hey, fair enough. All right. Let's see. Which team surprised you the most this week, Chris? Which NFL team surprised Chris Farley most?
Indianapolis Colts, Danny Dimes. They're the real deal. Physical team, run the football, defense. But when you go to the Chargers and you manhandle the Chargers, because that's what Harbaugh, he's supposed to be physical. That right there, I think was the single, and it's not necessarily a surprise, but just an affirmation, because they really hadn't beat some good teams. The schedule and everything, you can't make up your schedule, but going to L.A. and thumping them, the Chargers, like physically thumping them, and the way Danny Dimes is playing, I think that is real. We see this on occasion in the league. We saw it with Baker Mayfield. We saw it with Sam Darnold, and then now we're getting a version with Danny Dimes there in Indy.
And I know it's early.
Excuse me.
AFC West, the Broncos are in first place.
Yeah, because, I mean, the incompetence of the Giants to give away that game. But, yes, and I think, their defense. But here comes Kansas City, bro. Here comes Kansas City.
Yeah.
Like, here comes Kansas City. Like, Rice is back. You can see the way they utilize him in the running game and in the passing game. They really have a number one receiver now. Now you'll be surprised how much better Hollywood is, how much better the kid from Texas, the speedster, how much better he'll be. open up some things in the running game. Because Patrick Mahomes is playing some good football. And guess what? Travis Kelce, man, he don't have to be that guy.
Well, it's good.
Oh, absolutely.
He ain't that guy.
No. Just splash. Just a couple splash plays and everything. Yeah, but they are, they are legitimate. And worthy speed and not having him as the number one complimenting Rice, that right there is scary stuff. So for me, yeah, Denver is ahead right now, but Kansas City is the team that I consider to be the favorite in the AFC.
Okay. Am I good now, Drew, or not? You don't know.
Testing 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5.
Just him. Mine's no good. Can't hear my mic.
It's not. They can hear you, but not through the mic.
They can hear me through his mic. Okay, awesome. All right, how about that, Chris? How much does the cold weather affect players today? Skinny players like small quarterbacks.
Well, it depends on where you live, man.
Okay.
Like if you live in a tropical climate, like which we do, it's going to affect you. But it's also, you can be a guy like we have seen even with Marino. No matter when they were traveling in the cold, it didn't affect the Dolphins then. They were a tougher mental team with Shula as the head coach. A lot of people like, oh, that's going back a long way. So the climate does affect. For a long time, no indoor team, turf team, had won a Super Bowl. Because once you get to the playoffs, you got to go to the East Coast, you got to travel, you got to go north, go into some bad weather. It affected teams for a long, long time. So where you live, it does affect the team. And how you put your team together should be thought of based on where you live, who's the opposition. Like, so who do I have to beat in the division? If there's a team in a tropical climate, say for instance, if Arizona was ever a dominant team, like you would have to have concessions that, okay, wow, don't have to worry about it too much because they play indoors. Now, how is their team built? So I can build it around just their team, not the elements. The Giants, when they were good, rugged football team. New England, rugged football teams. Philadelphia, best running football team, rugged football team. But they play outdoors in the elements. So when you see those things, Baltimore, when they were dominant, rugged football team, good defense, run the football, quarterback don't make a mistake, we're going to play in the elements. So I think that it is a very effective strategy, especially in pro sports, to not know your division, know your conference, but know how you're going to get into the playoffs and what style you're going to be able to win these critical games late in the season.
All right, so Penn State fires Franklin. Done, gone.
Yes.
As a businessman, I'm still blown away that these contracts are guaranteed the way they're guaranteed. The buyouts are the way they are.
Mm-hmm.
Is this just going to, are guys, there's so few coaches that universities have to pay this kind of money if they're going to get rid of you if you don't perform? They pay a lot of money for that to the league.
Well, I think that, okay, first of all, it lets you know how successful the product, especially the Big Ten, is. And also behind the scenes, they're trying to ratify with their athletic directors and their presidents a new deal where they would bring in outside money. So for the first time in college sports, just like the NFL, they're allowing institutional money to filtrate. Now, that institution can't be the majority owner of an NFL team, but they will take, $1 billion, $500 million, and allow that cash to help the business. Now, the Big Ten thinks they are, very close to a record-setting, trend-setting deal where they are going to allow that outside money to own piece of the TV rights and then negotiate that. I think they're negotiating between 10 and 20%, and they're talking about billions of dollars. But from what I heard from someone talking, each team in the Big Ten, I think there's 18 teams, would instantly get $100 million. So now back to the Penn State thing. Now, Penn State's been saving, they got money with dust on it. Like, they are truly one of the powerhouses on and off the field as far as, but what James Franklin did for them, he got fired by, like, it was friendly fire. He shot himself because when he went there, they didn't have expectations. Like, they had a bad reputation. And I know people across the airways don't want to bring that back up, like what we were talking about. the legendary sanctions that were put on this team on and off the field because of the conduct that they allowed to happen for years. He brought them back to respectability. Guess what? As an alumni of Ohio State, guess what? I'm happy. I'm happy they fired him because he was so close. And he was doing it the Penn State way. Now, Penn State also has a new deal that will be in effect in 2026. After decades with Nike, they switched over to Adidas. That's going to be in effect next year. And I think Adidas had some type of voice in the athletic director's ear as far as moving forward what they want the product. Because if you look at Adidas, what they're doing in football, it's all edgy stuff. Travis Hunter, like it's all like, how can we get more market share? James Franklin was not that guy for them at Penn State. You know, like Penn State has been known for the white pants, the black shoes, a lot of white players. I mean, but more so the black shoes.
White pants, white players, black shoes.
Right? Yeah. And in their area, the product that they're delivering for their fan base, it's exceptional. The whiteouts are legendary. Like, it's one of the toughest places to play. This is really more about their quarterback. Everyone thought he was Heisman Trophy, #1 pick in the draft. He wasn't that good. If he had been better, James Franklin would still be there. 100%. So if you look at some of the other things behind the scene with the Big Ten, that being they're going to take in outside money, Penn State moving over to Adidas, which is another influx of cash, because you know, you and I have talked about this. You have to change all the logos. You have to change all the multiple uniforms across all the sports. You have to throw away all that stuff or ship it to some kids or something who might like it. But
you can't use it.
Yes. And to be able to do that, they're trying to change their brand, and they decided to go ahead and change the coach at the same time and change their brand. They're also finishing up a renovation of their stadium. So that's going to be finished next year. They're still playing there, but it's being renovated. So new luxury boxes, influx of cash, suites.
There's a lot more behind the scenes we don't know about.
Oh, that's how you can, James Franklin said when he met with the athletic director, he was shocked. I mean, when was the last time there was no off the field? This guy is a great leader. He builds young men into men. No complaints, no nothing, no extramarital.
Where they are now.
Graduation rate. I'm going to meet with the athletic director on a sudden note. I'm fired with $50 million. Like, who gets let home for $50 million? For nothing. Hey, you're a good guy. Go home.
There you go. And here's $50 million.
But you have to make, part of the paperwork, you have to make a legitimate, attempt to gain employment, either through broadcasting or through coaching. James Franklin immediately came out and said, yeah, I got the same. This notebook that I had here that was almost getting ready to get completed, won a national championship, I'm getting ready to take this, white label it, and take this somewhere else. So he's known me, no, I don't need a rest. He said, I don't have any habits. I don't play golf. I don't fish. I'm a football coach, and I'm looking for a job. So it was great to see him and Coach Saban on the college football circuit this weekend talking about it, because he is a quality man. If you got a son and you want to play at a high level, he's going to get a very, very good job. He also won in the SEC before he got at Vandy. Okay, so he's got a proven product.
So you got the kid from Penn State who was a Heisman front runner.
Yep.
Manning, who was a Heisman. Who do you think wins the Heisman now?
The last 3 or 4 games, especially the big rivalry games, are going to play a big. It's really playing in the favor of Jeremiah Smith. And the reason why is because no one from a running back standpoint or quarterback, especially on the best teams, are doing it. Georgia quarterback's not going to get it. Texas quarterback's not going to get it. LSU quarterback, not Penn State. So now Justin Sand there at Ohio State, who is throwing at an unbelievable clip, like he's throwing at a higher rate than any other quarterback that we've ever had. And then Jeremiah Smith. They're 2 of the top 5 candidates. Do they take votes away from each other? But the best offensive player in the country is Jeremiah Smith. Will he be able to have the stats and that Heisman moment, especially late in the season? They play Penn State first Saturday in November, and then, of course, the last Saturday they play Michigan, which they've lost 4 in a row to. So that's a must-win game for both of those kids. But right now, to me, because they look like the only team that's going to go undefeated and the best team in college football, Ohio State, that it's going to be between them. And Justin Sane, to me, should have the edge over the receiver Jeremiah, even though Jeremiah is a once every couple decades player.
Once every couple of decades.
The players that you can compare him to are players like Calvin Johnson, Julio Jones. Like, so that's why I would say I don't – it's very hard to be a generational talent. Yeah. And it's like we don't know how much better he's going to be because Julio Jones at this age was that good. Yeah. And there's when the competition, other systems, like he's still going to improve. That's why I say every couple decades type player. I would. Yeah. I'm paying him.
A lot.
Man, he seems to be the training seems to be, you see a little video, you see him starting to get back in there, but there is no way, there is no earth that exists that Deshaun Watson, healthy, Dylan Gabriel was better than him. No, because even just with his legs, like even just the athleticism. Now, I hope that it's like a golfer getting over the yips and everything because, I mean, he's gone through – we haven't seen him play good football in a long time. I don't even know if he remembers how to play good football. But, yes, and to me, that might be how they finished the season. They just got their second win. Like, it doesn't look like they're in a hurry to put Shador in there. I'm already paying a guy for it. Man, listen, I don't believe in that sitting on the side playing. No, I'm not – if I ever owned that type of business, no. You are going to work to make that money. I don't care if you drive cars. I don't care if you serve hot dogs. You're going to be doing something. Yeah. I am not going to be showing up to practice and you're going to be holding a clipboard. No, that's not getting ready to happen.
Not that kind of money.
No, I just any type of money, but the higher the amount, of course, the principles become more important. Yes.
Something like that? All right. Right now, halfway through, we'll wrap up with this. When you look, moving Ravens, I mean, who would have last place, Jackson out, Chiefs coming back. If you had to pick right now your conference championships and your Super Bowl matchup, who would it be right now? You lay money on somebody right now.
I would say Kansas City is playing at Indianapolis in the AFC. Wow. And I would say right now, Philadelphia makes a trip to Tampa. Tampa Bay, Philadelphia. I'm going with rematch Tampa Bay, Kansas City.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. Wouldn't that be something?
Yeah, it'd be something to be right. Hell yeah.
Can't win that game?
Oh, absolutely. If they got, like, come on now. Look, we're in October.
Yeah.
You asked me to predict the future.
Yeah.
If they get in that game, that guy, he can end it. Yes, he can. Yes.
One more question. We're trying to fix the microphone, bro. We got it.
Okay.
We know it don't work. We already know it don't work.
Yeah, the ratings are going through the roof with his mic being muted. Let's go.
Rick Davis, what is going on with the Raiders? Yeah, it is, because you can't hear me. It's going through. What is going on with the Raiders? What is your thoughts on Geno?
The Raiders are not doing well. And one of the things that we kind of omitted from when we looked at Geno and going with Pete Carroll, there's one fatal flaw that Geno has. Geno will throw that ball to the opposite color jersey. And if you look over the last 7 or 8 years, I think dude has thrown the most interceptions in the NFL. And I'm not going to say I didn't know that, but I'm going to say that was not highlighted. In a Pete Carroll, control, physical, competitive environment, that's not happening. Pete Carroll's never had a quarterback that was that type of injury, that type of turnover prone, and they're not that talented. Like, they need a couple drafts and a couple off seasons, but Pete, they signed him to a 3-year deal. Man, you're almost a third of the way through that, man. You got to cook fast, bro. Put it on high, man. Burn it. You got to cook. Like, you can't be waiting. Like, bro, you're old, man. You can't.
Ain't got much time.
No.
He got no time.
And I just hope that they have enough patience with him, especially with Brady being right there and everything. I don't think that's going to happen, but they're just not that talented.